Asante Gold Regalia of Ghana. Ghana is a small country on the land of Africa, with plains covering every inch of its territory. However, there are abundant mineral resources buried underground, especially gold and oil. The largest ethnic minority in the Republic of Ghana, Asante, has been mining gold since the 14th century, and gold is also considered a symbol of wealth and status in the local area. Asante goldsmiths have accumulated advanced gold forging techniques, creating exquisite and unparalleled gold handicrafts. Akan people produced gold weights like these in Ghana from around 1400 to 1900. Made from imported European brass, these weights represented units and could be adjusted with drops of solder or copper plugs. They were used to measure gold dust, the currency of the region at the time. Units of gold dust were weighed out for all transactions, from the smallest market sale to the largest state enterprise. Traders carried many weights, and most families would also have a collection that could be passed down as heirlooms. The gold weight would sit on one side of a pair of scales and gold dust would be scooped onto the other with a brass spoon. The weights and scales would be part of a larger gold weighing set. Impurities were removed with blow pans of hammered brass, and the quality of gold nuggets would be tested with a touchstone. Gold dust was kept in a twist of cloth inside a brass box for everyday use and sometimes stored in large, elaborate brass containers called kudwa. The trade of this precious metal attracted merchants from West Sudan, who took it to North Africa. European traders also arrived along the coast and carried huge quantities back to Europe by ship. Commodities such as salt, cola nuts, iron, cowrie shells, brassware, fabrics, liquor and gunpowder were exchanged. Increasingly at this time, enslaved people were also a key part of this trade. The wealth and prosperity generated by the gold trade led to the emergence of the Asante Kingdom in the 18th century. Following the Anglo-Asante Trade Treaty agreed in 1817, the British mounted a series of military campaigns to gain control of trade routes. In 1896, they annexed the region and abolished gold dust as a currency, replacing it with the British pound sterling. Combined with the gradual decline of the ancient gold trade, this marked the end of the large-scale production of gold weights. In traditional Akan culture, extensive and subtle use of proverbs was a sign of high culture and education. Many gold weights conceal symbols that hint at the need to recognize and respect hierarchies. Being proficient in such proverbs was key to navigating trading relations. Trading involved much haggling, and the use of proverbs was important to communicate double meanings and indirect criticism, thus avoiding conflict. The gold weight chosen for a transaction may have contained a coded message. Gold weights could also be worn as charms to cure ailments, gifted with dowries of gold dust, or sent as pertinent messages. Proverbs depicted in the form of the weight could provide a piece of advice, recall a debt, serve as a warning or token of friendship. Gold weights were cast in brass using the lost wax process. The form would be modeled in purified beeswax, coated in a clay slip, and encased in a larger clay ball. When heated in a furnace, the molten wax would drain out, leaving behind a perfect indentation of the model. Molten brass would be poured in, and once cooled, the clay would be cracked to reveal the gold weight. Sometimes small objects were used instead of wax models. Popular items included beetles, shells, fruit and crab claws, which were small enough to be incinerated in heat of the fire. This method has been called the lost beetle process.